Every year, the average American spends over $1,000 on things they don't need. That's right, $1,000 on stuff that will probably be forgotten in a few months. We live in a world where buying more is seen as the key to happiness. But what if buying less could actually make us happier? Shocking, right? Studies show that people who own fewer things tend to be more satisfied with their lives. In fact, research by the University of California found that decluttering your home can reduce stress and improve mental well-being. And yet, we keep piling up possessions, believing they will bring us joy. But here's the truth: more stuff often leads to more problems. We waste time maintaining things we don't need, spend money on temporary fixes, and end up feeling overwhelmed by the clutter. What if the answer isn't to buy more, but to buy less? In this video, we'll dive deep into the surprising benefits of buying less, and how it can lead to a life of freedom, happiness, and peace. Ready to find out how saying no to consumerism can unlock a better, simpler life? Stick around to discover why less really is more. Chapter 1. The Paradox of Choice. Less is actually more. We live in a world where choice is endless. Want a new phone? There are dozens to choose from. Looking for a shirt? Hundreds of options line the store racks. But research shows that too many choices can actually make us unhappy. In his book The Paradox of Choice, Barry Schwartz argues that having too many options can overwhelm us and make decision-making harder, leading to stress. Less choice means fewer decisions to make, and that can bring us more peace. Imagine walking into a room with just a few, meaningful items you truly love and use. That simplicity can bring a sense of calm. Studies from Princeton University found that cluttered spaces reduce our focus, while a simple, organized environment can boost productivity and happiness. So, by cutting down on what we buy, we can focus on what truly matters. This is about removing the distractions in our lives and making room for what brings us real joy. Chapter 2. The Freedom of Saying No. Reclaim your time, reclaim your life. Saying no isn't always easy, but it's incredibly powerful. By resisting the constant pull to buy more, we free up time and mental energy to focus on what's important. When we say yes to unnecessary purchases, we're saying no to our own happiness. According to The Psychology of Choice by Sheena Iyengar, people who embrace fewer options tend to feel more in control of their lives and their decisions. Think about it. Every time you buy something you don't really need, you're spending more than just money. You're spending time on decision-making, research, and often maintenance. By saying no to purchases, you're investing that time into things that actually make you happy, like spending time with loved ones or pursuing your passions. You regain control over your own life when you choose to limit your purchases. Chapter 3. The Hidden Costs of Cheap. Why spending less can be more expensive. When something is cheap, we often assume it's a great deal. But cheap items can end up costing us more in the long run. Studies show that the average consumer spends more on replacements than on high-quality, durable items. For example, a cheap pair of shoes might wear out in a few months, forcing you to buy another pair. A more expensive, quality pair could last years, saving you money overall. In his book Your Money or Your Life, Joe Dominguez talks about how frugality isn't just about finding bargains, it's about spending your money wisely. You might save a little by buying cheap, but you'll end up paying for it later, whether it's in repairs, replacements, or the frustration of low-quality products. The key to frugal living is buying less but investing in things that will last. In the end, it's the things that truly hold value that save you the most money and stress. Don't forget to subscribe. Stay tuned for more practical tips on how to achieve a simpler, happier life. Chapter 4. Minimalist Mindset. Happiness in the simplest things. Living with less isn't just about cutting costs, it's about finding happiness in what you already have. A minimalist mindset helps us appreciate the small, everyday moments. Studies show that people who embrace minimalism are often more content with their lives. A 2020 survey by the minimalists found that 79% of people who embraced minimalism felt less stressed and more fulfilled. Think about the simple joy of reading a book without distractions, or cooking a meal from scratch without the need for fancy gadgets. These moments don't require purchasing more items, yet they're often the most satisfying. Minimalism teaches us that happiness doesn't come from what we own but from how we choose to live. It's about making conscious decisions to focus on what's important and letting go of the rest. Chapter 5. The Magic of Decluttering. Letting go to make room for joy. Decluttering isn't just a trend, it's a proven method to increase happiness. Studies show that people who regularly declutter report higher levels of satisfaction with their lives. The process of letting go of excess belongings can be liberating, as it creates a sense of space, both physically and mentally. Marie Kondo's The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up teaches us how to part with items that no longer spark joy. This isn't just about throwing things away, it's about creating room for joy and meaningful experiences. Decluttering also gives you the opportunity to rediscover things you truly love. Sometimes, when we own too much, we forget what matters most. By letting go of unnecessary items, we can refocus on what truly brings us happiness. It's not about having less just for the sake of it, it's about making space for a more intentional, fulfilling life. Chapter 6. Financial Freedom Through Frugality. How less spending equals more happiness. One of the most powerful benefits of buying less is financial freedom. The less you spend, the more you can save, invest, and eventually achieve financial independence. According to a study by the National Bureau of Economic Research, people who practice frugal living tend to report higher levels of happiness. This is because money is no longer a source of stress, and they can focus on their true passions. Financial freedom doesn't mean living miserably, it means having control over your money, without the need to constantly buy things to feel fulfilled. Frugal living allows you to invest in experiences, memories, and even the freedom to retire early. By buying less, you free yourself from the constant cycle of consumerism and gain the peace that comes with financial security. As financial expert Dave Ramsey says, live like no one else, so later you can live like no one else. Thanks for watching. If you're ready to start living with less, don't forget to subscribe for more life-changing tips.